King, I don't know how long you've been a fan of the industry like I, but I do know this. It is once again that time, that week, where all the wrestling happens under one city. Let's freaking hype up WrestleMania week. And I know we'll have other stuff to talk about too, including but not limited to AEW,
look, I just
WWE.
wanted to stop by real quick.
Oh, you're fine, Eric. Again, we're all here just talking to Braze, and I know we got a lot on our minds, but it's also good to see
you. I was actually thinking I don't think I can make it tonight since I have not followed the WrestleMania build at all.
That's fair. But what's on your mind?
I just wanted to stop by, give you all my wishes and happy anniversary, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
and also the anniversary of remembering the Great War.
Yes, the War of Wars that ended all things, or began all things.
The War of Megan Chibi and Noah Foster.
Yes, the Great Debate, as I like to call it.
Yes.
You guys are never going to let us hold that down, are you?
That was a timeless moment in ATW history.
Timeless moment. That's what I call the timeless moment.
By the way, did any of you all hear about the bridge collapse in Baltimore?
Yes.
Yeah, it's incredible to think that one thing literally can cause that.
Yeah, my mom and sister were almost supposed to be on it that day.
Whoa.
Yeah, they were planning to go on it earlier in that day, so they weren't going to be part of the disaster. But they went on another bridge because mom literally has an issue with bridges, and this didn't really help her mental state.
I don't blame her.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you talk about stuff that really warped humanity. Speaking of mental, I just want to put it out there. Happy Autism Awareness Month as somebody who, again, has a best friend since 2010 that is autistic. I just want to say to anybody, mental health matters.
I'm on the spectrum.
People are people. What's up, Eric?
I'm on the spectrum.
You're on the spectrum?
Yeah, probably not like way on the spectrum, but still on it.
Well, that's fair. And again, we all have our own situations. So, again, to everybody out there that's either affected by that or knows somebody affected by that, God bless you and please take care. Again, people, humanity, be better. And I hope honestly that I can't speak. Yeah, I hope honestly that bridge collapse thing gets reprimanded because you gotta figure out how much that affects imports and exports out of the country.
Oh, we're losing $15 million a day according to reports.
$15 million
a day.
A day?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the AEW Newsroom. I am Noah Foster here with Eric Brown when it comes to politics and worldly conflicts. And now here's Anthony with the latest in sports.
Oh, by the way, guess what people did do the moment the bridge collapsed?
What did they do?
They basically did this. No. My Amazon Day One packages.
Oh, yes. What will they do?
People and their Amazons.
Well, I mean, if people don't have their Amazon stuff, people go into a frenzy. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like,
Speaking of, Elon Musk has now continued his crusade on X because, of course.
Right.
His latest stunt is now trying to remove the pronouns feature.
Pronouns feature?
Basically, he's trying to take away people's rights to.
So people can't put on their bios he, him, her, all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's because everyone's an it. Because Lord knows if you say something that offends somebody, it comes out to become a sensitivity warning, and you get nothing but utter madness and freaking, controversy on the internet.
Yeah, and there's been other crazy real world news. Like I had to learn that there's some deranged psychopathic woman that came out and publicly said on Facebook, "Hello, my urine angels." So anyways, I'm going to tell you the grand joy of using age-old urine for hair conditioning.
And with that, we now return to regularly scheduled programming. Thanks, Eric. Well, damn it. I was not expecting that. The world's fucked up.
I don't have the words for it. at all.
Okay,
I just say we live in a society and move on.
Yeah, okay, let's move on. Welcome, everybody, once again to the interview Impromptu. You know what this is. We are ATW. We talk about all things wrestling. Look at all things wrestling. Discuss all things wrestling. And
Okay, you know what? Screw it. I got one more thing I got to say before I go.
Go ahead.
Okay, real world talk. There's a guy that's suing Norwegian's prison system and saying that what they're doing to him is cruel and unusual. And I looked at his prison, and I'm going to just say it. This is the biggest whiny baby I have ever seen, and the fact that he's saying that this is horrible punishment is something I'm going to be amazed by.
Well, again, people.
Well, here's the thing. He's a mass murderer, 71 people.
Oh.
Far right, doesn't regret what he did.
Oh, jeez, people. People don't have no regrets.
Well, there's something I can't share what his solitary confinement looks like because they said he was too dangerous to be around people.
Can only imagine Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, it's dumber.
Oh,
and that's saying something about this world. This is what his prison looks like.
What?
This is okay. Show it on feed.
Oh, good lord.
Oh my! Here we go.
This is his solitary confinement. So you're going to be given an Xbox, a living room, 3 paintings, a bedroom, exercise equipment, a gym for basketball, allowed to keep pets, and a library. This is horrible, cruel, and unusual. Yeah, he's saying he's a victim now in this. And how he's been saying, "Oh, I'm so depressed. I don't have a PlayStation at this point." That's my best guess why he did this. He's suing suing Norway for this, saying that this is cruel. And I'm like, okay, let's see. According to, you're allowed to see inmates every few weeks and hang out with them for a couple of hours. You're allowed to seek professional help, even though you've admitted you have no remorse for killing 71 people for your bigoted beliefs. And you have been given a penthouse as your confinement. And the people have to pay for your punishment.
Lord, we are gathered here today to try and figure out what type of sense this makes, because I don't know what type of sense this makes at all. And yeah. I see Yano here. Toro, what you gotta say? Thank you, Toro. Great words of wisdom.
This psychopath is living in lap of luxury, and he's whining about it.
Whining about that?
The penthouse life. He gets to have a gym. He gets to have he gets to have birds. He gets to have paintings. He gets to play on the Xbox.
And that's a normal human being type life.
Yes, this is the life.
And with that.
Oh, you want to know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking at this point, Vince is going to make a run for it and head to Norway and face punishment there, because then he'll get his luxury life in prison, and then we'll never get justice.
Well, why don't we get back to reality and talk about wrestling?
Oh, this is reality, man.
Well, let's talk about wrestling reality, because as far as I know, these crimes aren't against the pro wrestling industry, and we're here to hype, not necessarily destroy our minds.
Too late.
Well, too late. Eric did that already. You know how he does this.
He is the agent of chaos, so.
All right, so I'll leave you all to it. Have fun with this WrestleMania podcast.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric, as always.
Your family.
Let's see. I need to see if I left anything else out of this conversation. Let's see. Trump going crazy, trying to start another civil war, essentially. Maki Ito got punched in the face.
Well, what else is new when it comes to Maki Ito, the cutest?
By Minoru Suzuki.
Who's now the Grand Princess. That's something.
That's a conversation to be had. I'm pretty sure someone's offended. Let's see. Obligatory yay, Ali. Thank you, everyone.
Every time with you. Every time.
Look, I could either just say the 2 words or make that song again.
Oh.
With Hellfire by Barnes Country.
Oh.
In fact, now that I think about it, I should have dropped by that karaoke night and had Noah sing that rendition. Thinking about it.
I sung enough bullshit with Brodus Clay's lame ass, all right?
Somebody call my mom.
Dear God almighty.
All right, take care, y'all. Have fun with the rest
You
of
too, Eric.
From chaos to humanity's foolishness, from laughter to joy, from madness to anger, from sadness to drama galore. He's frozen, but I think, yeah. April Fool's.
attempt. See ya.
All right, see ya, Eric. God bless your madness. I don't know what to say.
You knew he's our agent of chaos for a reason. I wasn't going to say it, and I wasn't planning on going to say it. You knew he was. So honestly, there we go.
Well, as Yana would say.
That's perfect.
Well, that being said, we are ACW. Eric's the agent of chaos, and he's back. What you say?
Guys, I was about to leave, but then something just dropped on the chat.
And that would be...
let's see. Slim J has been released from AEW. The Boys have been released from AEW. Released from AEW. Anthony Henry has been released from AEW. Jose the Assistant is gone. Parker Bardot has been gone. Jorah Joel is gone.
Okay,
Cindy revealed this. This all happened in the span of, let's see, Sean Rotzap is doing the reporting. No surprise there. So all this happened in the span of, somehow we didn't learn about this 3 hours ago.
Yeah, I can tell that Eric's going to be busy tonight.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and this is not helping what happened with the interview.
No, it's not. The timing of that CM Punk interview with Ariel Hawani, yeah, the timing of that is not helping AEW's cause right now.
Maybe I should just
granted,
put
people
this
were,
background up.
and I'm half expecting someone to say, hey, no, but everyone wanted these people gone, saying AEW needs to trim the fat. And when they do, they're saying, no, you're being like WWE. And I'm just going to be like, okay, what do you want then?
It's a business. It happens to everybody.
Unless
they make up the lie saying it's budget cuts.
Well, case in point, and we're approaching AEW brand-wise, literal 5-year anniversary of existence at Double or Nothing. And we've seen the restructuring of AEW from the logo to the set to the theme to almost like a more...
Oh, wait, I got more details.
Oh, boy.
Stu Grayson's gone.
Yep, we know about that.
So we know about
that was the first one.
Let's see. And from what Sean Rossap is saying, these are not contracts running out. These are cuts.
Oh, dear.
Well, which means that, well, Tony was talking about media rights and Max coming up by the end of the year.
It's also because to be fair, I don't think Jose the Assistant, but besides him, I think everyone else we just listed have not been used for months. So, yeah. I mean, whereas WWE did it was more like, okay, let's just fire all these guys. Alistair, I know you just came back and you're supposed to be doing this thing, and we spent months building you up, but get out of our office. Remember that debacle and how that came back to bite them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, but it's one of those things where, again, at the end of the day, business is business. AEW's got to do something.
Yep. I got tweeted out when the hiring of Kosha Irby. This is not a startup company anymore. We are now approaching 5 years of this company. Business moves have to be made here.
Yeah, and then I had that discussion from the desk of NRE statements where I said that Tony Khan needs to find a way to balance between being a friend to everyone and being a boss to everyone.
Mm-hmm. And he still has trouble with that. That's why he needs an actual person there with the unbiased nature and the business savvy to put that in perspective.
I think the only one he can trust on that front is Brian.
Yeah, but I do think right now he's still floating more on the friend side, and it's hurting him in the long haul. We want AEW to grow, but right now it looks like they're just trying to stay consistent.
Yep.
Yeah, so that all happened in the span of 3 or so hours ago, and I don't know if there's going to be more to come. If there is, I'll be surprised.
Well, there is supposed to be an ongoing series. I'm not sure if this will continue tonight or lead on to the next day, but I did hear that it's supposed to be an ongoing series of these cuts.
And I also was now reading that people were trying to make a connection, say, "Oh, this is clearly because of Punk," and I'm like,
how?
Like even Sean Rossap had to come out and say, "No, that's complete bullshit."
People are always going to try and find a way to put a bad rep out there against CM Punk or AEW's name. That's what it comes down to. Because people like to make the world burn in their own.
Also, do you know some interviewer named Dasha Kurt?
Yeah, Dasha Gonzalez.
Yeah, she's out.
Yeah. That will really surprise me because she was the regular
Collision for Collision.
But I noticed lately a different voice. For a while, I thought it was Madison Rayne, but I was wrong. So, again, and again, we don't know the reason besides the fact that it's business. But hopefully, at the end of the day, it was maybe a mutual thank you for your work. Here's your service package.
Look, as long as they don't go ahead, I'm hoping one of two things happen. One, this is just letting people who are just stuck doing nothing to be let go, and they asked for it for months, and Tony Khan's like, fine, I'll let you go. And the other one I'm hoping for is that he actually picked up the phone and called them and said, look, you've been wanting to get out for a while. We're doing these cuts. Do you still want to get out?
Yeah. Because
as opposed to, sorry, kid, it's a budget thing. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Oh, don't ever do that again. Ugh.
Oh, don't worry. I'm still laughing at the fact that he got fired for the same reason.
Well, you know.
Which I laughed at, realizing, hey, maybe they should tell him on the phone, sorry, kid, it's a budget thing.
Damn. Well,
and then he finally realized, so that's what I've been doing to people all these years. I deserve to be fired.
Karma could be a real slap in the face.
Yeah, so I'll see you all again. If you're still recording and I pop in with more news, just say it was magic.
All right.
You know.
Yeah. Say it's not so. All right, Eric. Well, keep us posted.
Keep us posted, dude.
Need to start getting like a siren going when he comes in, or like a news break thing, because I know when he comes in, all hell's about to break loose, especially the more budget cuts. Appreciate you, Eric. Well, let's go ahead and turn things back to a nice mutual. Everything's fine. We're gonna be positive now. We're gonna be hype. We're gonna not, try and help the world burn. We're gonna actually try and show some excitement, because again, it's WrestleMania week. Let's get hype. Everything's happening underneath the city of brotherly love this week, all the way through next week, Monday night. We have finally arrived to the week of the industry. And I am talking about both sports entertainment and professional wrestling. Damn it! Now, of course, shout out to our ATW crew, as I always like to say, including that limit to say Preacher Man, Casey Flan, who's still holding out for Dakota Kai, one day becoming a champion. Our enforcer, Lex, our indie darling, Cindy, Sienna Chanel. I know that she's going to have a great time in Philly. Be safe. Have a wonderful experience overall in and out of independent wrestling, professional wrestling, and sports entertainment. And my friend Walter Cruz from the Gemini Bloodsport Media will also be taking part in the festivities, along with Big Baller G from No DQ as part of Gemini Bloodsport Media. I hope everybody has a great time, whether we know you or not. Again, everyone, be safe and get home before the eclipse, so that way you beat the traffic. Just saying. You don't have to worry about that. You're on the other side of the country. But anyway, King, good to see you after Eric's impromptu. This is why it's impromptu. There's no script. It's unscripted. It's unrestricted. It's literally unlimited towards what we talk about here with a focus on wrestling. But we are ATW, and our focus has always been at the forefront, at the heart, human respect and a perspective, open-minded perspective, non-biased, non-toxic, on all things wrestling. So that being said, again, shout out to the entire family. I know I didn't name everybody, but I would be naming something longer than the lexicon of Jericho if I did that. So And again, yes, Megan Chiba, of course, as he alluded to, this is literally the 4th anniversary. We've done this WrestleMania-based impromptu, but with an additional look at all the companies and shows, because it's truly hype. Shout out to, of course, our queen, Mary Jade, who continues to prove that Jade's worth more than gold. I haven't heard much of her current ventures, but I hope all's going okay, and I hope she continues to thrive and becomes even more priceless to the industry. Take care, my friend. Cheers to you across the pond. One day, may you once again impromptu it up and piss me off and debate me again. Dare you? Yeah, you'll laugh at that.
Hey, it was a great debate years ago, okay? That
It
was
was
an ATW.
unnecessary. I was right in my claim, even if no one wins the debate. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, King, here we are once again, virtually engaging, not in AEW only, but in all things wrestling. Good to see you, bruv. How you been? How's your weekend? And how are you feeling overall about the week that's ahead? Truly all 7 days. We're going to die.
Die of mental sleep, no sleep for the wicked.
What's
My, but other than that, bro, my weekend was great. Did a lot of Easter, spending time with the family over during Easter.
Boy, he rose. God bless.
Exactly. He is risen. God bless. As you see, got to get the hair redid with the twist. It was long overdue. Nobody was going to see my afro. Nobody. That's why I kept underneath the do rag for a reason. But today,
that's a fashion statement.
I had to, but of course today, bouncing back in a good mood because for those that do know, I'm pretty sure everybody knows. The Bray Wyatt documentary has been dropped on Peacock, and it's a 2-hour, 2-minute long documentary. All I will say is this: it's emotional, and grab your tissues because this bruv cried 3 times in that documentary. That it touched my soul, it touched my heart, and I didn't know I was going to cry that raw since Brody Lee passed away. That's all I'm going to say on that front. If you do plan on watching the documentary in your spare time, grab you some tissues. It is an emotional one.
Well, I know that we have made a mutual agreement, and I made it official. Tomorrow night after NXT, most likely after my City Predicting panel, because I don't watch NXT, we are all going to come together virtually and engage in sync on Peacock on a 3-2-1 and watch and engage in this together because we all know the impact that the creative mind of Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, had on us as fans, no matter what perspective you followed. Whether it was originally the Wyatt family, which is always why I may hate karaoke, but I do enjoy the fact that I was able to sing his theme, Live in Fear, on Saturday night. Probably one of my favorite things to sing, if not just listen to. I don't even have a rocking chair. I do have a plaid shirt and a small fedora hat, but I can't wear that because of the headset. Whole different conversation. And of course, we talk about, again, The Fiend, Let Me In, Playhouse Fun, Bray Wyatt, Mr. Rogers, and of course, his last incarnation of heartfelt, real Wyndham Rotunda. So it's one of those things that I know is going to cover all those, not only wrestling basics, but the person and the inspirations himself, the family man, the father to daughters. So I have a feeling that tomorrow night is going to be extremely tough for me. And as somebody that doesn't show necessarily a lot of emotion on screen unless I'm commentating, you very well might see a different side of me privately during our ATW watch along because I'm not recording that. That's the personal thing. This is personal. This is family thing.
And of course, I'll watch it again with you guys, of course.
You might see a different side of me tomorrow night, so be prepared. Anyway, yeah, with that being said, it's all about the emotions. Of course, we talk about biographies. It wasn't the only one that dropped. Of course, we also had the Roman Reigns one, which I have not watched yet either.
I haven't watched it either.
That was produced by the lead WWE Hall of Famer, Paul Heyman. I know we'll talk more about that as we get through the week. So, again, yeah, this year was wonderful. Like I said, families forever. God bless you all, ATW. Also my family for life, whether it's my church, but blood for life, truly, because family above all. That's what I live by. You only have one. It was good to engage with the family yesterday. Them all coming over at interval times, just chatting, eating dinner and stuff like that. Just got done eating more leftovers. Still have some for tomorrow. And yeah, I got to get me a shave and a haircut. Probably do that Friday. But yeah, without further ado, again, there's a lot of emotional stir. There's a lot of our agenda too. Whether we watch or we go to it, to those that are going to it, God bless you and your wallets. Jeez.
For real.
Let's go ahead and talk about a little bit what's ahead. Because, yeah, I mean, again, we're already kicking things off with Monday Night Raw. And for those that don't know, the opening segment was 35-minute promo. Jesus Christ almighty.
No wonder why they made the first hour commercial free.
Well, again. But congratulations to the WWE and building what they have and what apparently is one of the most not the most record-sold crowd in Monday Night Raw history. So congrats to the WWE Universe. And I love the fact when the industry thrives, okay? I don't look at numbers. I don't think about that. But I love when it thrives because it means only bigger things for all. The fans, the workers, the wrestlers. But there was a certain comment that Dwayne Johnson did say that piqued my interest. And I want your perspective on this. Pro wrestling is cool again. Now, before that was a dark term in WWE particularly. There's a reason why I was always christened and outlooked as sports entertainment. Now, pro wrestling is cool again. I think of pro wrestling, I think about what happens in the ring. But lately we've seen a lot of, I would say, different swaying opinions on that. Where wrestling always needs a story. It's more about the story versus what happens in the ring. I think there is a certain level of truth to that, but I think there is an element of if you don't deliver in the ring, why should your story be worth a damn to me? I don't think one aspect can exist without the other, but I think there needs to be a fair balance. And at the end of the day, I still feel like WWE gives us an undervalue of the in-ring capabilities versus the theatrical narrating in ring. And I think that's still what kind of just puts me a little bit away. It's one of those things where, again, you look at the presentation, you look at the execution, you look at the overall conclusion. How does it all fall together? So, in your perspective, King, arguably since The Rock's been back in WWE is once again interesting. Let's just be honest here. It's interesting more than ever. It's got a bigger scope and a bigger audience more than ever. I think primarily because of Dwayne The Rock Johnson and his unscripted actions to a degree. He's more so been working shoot, but I know he still draws a thin line because at the end of the day, he's businessman and this is WWE. But your take on that one line. Do you think pro wrestling is cool again? In the words of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and based on what others have said, what's your overall perspective when it comes to when does pro wrestling feel cool to you? Does it more need about what happens in the ring, bell to bell, or what is demonstrated in the ring, maybe on the mic, and what is told? What's your take on all that?
It's the tell of two things. Like you can go with, your storytelling in the ring because it tells a story in the ring, but also you can be entertained in a promo, whether that be on Raw or on SmackDown, really, because of the fact that they're all, like WWE is always going to be known for their their long promo storytelling, or in this case, cinema promos. I mean, look at The Rock and the Bloodline of what they're doing. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest here. It's what's catching my interest is because of The Rock. Like, and I know I said this to y'all in the chat before, but y'all notice how The Rock has been carrying this whole WrestleMania build, and it's like
it's the freaking kickoff press conference.
And it all started from there. I mean, what has Roman done? Roman has become second aura. His aura from what they have done with him for the past 4 years when he returned from the, a little hiatus, that aura is now completely gone. Cody is basically, he's in and out, like he's being aggressive, then he's not, and then he's being aggressive, then he's not. And then Seth, Diarrhea Dwayne, that wasn't a very good comeback, and Mr. Midlife Crisis, that was a good one, but it's like we haven't heard from him for much since then. But I will give WWE this, as I saw the feed, like the tweets from Ricochet and Ivar. They just had a good match. Apparently, I'm gonna go back and watch that on my own time of Ricochet and Ivar, because Ricochet did a 630 senton, and it's like, when was the last time we seen Ricochet do a 630 senton?
It's been a while, I will tell you that much.
Exactly, and it's like WWE, and it's like WWE is more focused on storytelling done on the mic, while in professional wrestling, it's all about the in-ring work of their storytelling. I mean, look at AEW, for example. They are restoring the feeling. or in Will Ospreay's case, he is the Philly. And it's like the in-ring work over there in professional wrestling, it can get done without using a long promo to get, to tell the story. The in-ring work tells the story itself without a promo needed. So when The Rock said pro wrestling is cool again, I mean, I believe it. I mean, you can look at it from a different side. You can look at it from a, sports entertainment side, with the bloodline storyline, the bloodline angle, whatnot. And you can look at a professional wrestling landscape with the in-ring capable work of what's going on. So it's two sides to it. But I agree with what The Rock was saying. Pro wrestling is cool again. Because let's face it, I mean, we wouldn't be talking about, on the WWE side, we would not be talking about this bloodline angle without The Rock, because nobody's talking about Roman versus Cody too. Everybody is talking about Rock versus Cody or Rock versus Roman. That's what everybody's talking about.
Yeah, and again, as I'm looking right now, they're talking about the official schedule and what looks like the outlooks of the day. I can tell you all right now, WrestleMania Saturday will be the following: Becky versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Undisputed Champion, whatever the fuck they call it, Women's Heavyweight. The Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. The 6-woman tag is official. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi will take on Damage Control, the Kabuki Warriors, and Dakota Kai. Also, the 6-way ladder match for the WWE Tag Team Championships, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee taking on Donovan Mysterio and Silas Escobar. And the main event that night will be the tag match with Roman Reigns and The Rock taking on Cody and Seth, which means Sunday is all the rest. And that means it's going to be Bayley and Io Sky, Seth freaking Rollins, of course, versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship, as they're bringing up the official graphics now. A 6-man Philadelphia street fight was made official by Nick Aldis. It will be Bobby Lashley, the Almighty Street Profits, taking on the Final Testament. AOP and Karrion Kross. I guarantee you, Paul Ellering and Scarlett Bordeaux will not be too far away. WrestleMania Sunday will be Randy Orton, Logan Paul, and Kevin Owens for the United States Championship Triple Threat. Again, WrestleMania Sunday. And I think that pretty much covers everything. Oh, wait, how did I forget that? LA Knight versus AJ Styles will also be WrestleMania Sunday. So they actually are given the actual cards for each night. So people, you have no back out. You know what you're getting each night now, according to official WWE. I swear, the TV spots are so much more graphically enhanced and better than the fucking WWE website. And of course, it all culminates that Sunday night in the main event for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. Roman Reigns taking on the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Will Cody's finish to his story be told? And will it be told under normal or bloodline rules? And ladies and gentlemen, that is your WrestleMania that is ahead this weekend. So King, Cindy was right. It is basically going to be 7 matches a night, or at least 7 and 6. I think I counted. So based on that outlook on both those cards, what's your take? I know we're talking about the week, but dude, it all culminates as much as we have feelings about it. And this ain't even all the matches. It all culminates with this. So what's your take on this upcoming weekend WrestleMania? Could this be the biggest WrestleMania ever, if not the greatest for our fandom since arguably WrestleMania 19?
On card, it looks good. It looks decent on card. It just depends on how it's given to us on screen. Because the card may look good and decent, it's just how the performers are going to elevate, especially it's in Philly. I mean, but there are 1 or 2 matches maybe that I'm not interested in.
Do tell.
And that's Logan Paul and Randy Orton and KO, and that's no disrespect to Orton and KO, but it's just not really feeling it. And LA Knight and AJ Styles, and I feel with the body cam footage, that was cool and everything, but it's that one might be a sleeper for me, honestly, considering those two.
I think that one has potential because we are talking about 2 former TNA champions. AJ Styles, Mr. TNA, if we're being honest here, and apparently AJ Styles might have a theme that fits his new identity. But this is Def Rebel we're talking about. So again, am I going to hold my breath?
Yeah, this is Def Rebel, and if I know what Def Rebel's going to do, they're probably going to remix Evil Ways, because we noticed we've seen the black attire, we've seen, and I'm not looking forward to that. I'm really not.
No, but again, there's a lot of good quality on this card, but again, I do look at quality versus quantity. Is the latter match a bit of an overkill because it's still over the friggin' cherry of blueberry straps? And again, the 6-woman tag, how relevant are the women's tag team titles? 0 to none. But I am happy to see that Jade Cargill is getting her big moment on the grandest stage of them all because she certainly deserves it and has certainly put in the work for it. And I'm just going to say this right now. I don't have a picture, but Jade Cargill, Becky Botch, damn it, Bianca Belair. There's the first one. It wasn't on your freaking device, King.
It will
Bianca
be.
Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi. That's representation, damn it.
Yes, it is. Makes
That's
my
all I
heart
gotta
happy.
say. That's all I got to say. Former TNA Knockouts World Champion, inaugural former TBS champion, undefeated, 60-0 over 500 plus days. And you had the previous Raw Women's Champion that held that title for a year plus, arguably, truly the BEST of the WWE Women's Division since arriving up from NXT. So, again, mad respect for what all three of those women have done and have come to be. Represents.
Indeed.
All right.
But there's one match that is basically, I didn't even think about this until now.
What?
WrestleMania Saturday.
Yes.
Jimmy and Jay,
Yes.
brother versus brother.
Yes. Yes.
Because I've been playing WWE 2K24, and usually when WWE in their video games, they love to throw out conspiracy theories or whatnot. I mean, let's go back to SmackDown versus Raw 2006, when they predicted Eddie Guerrero. Let's go back to SmackDown versus Raw 2007, when they predicted about Benoit.
Well, yep.
And then WWE 2K23, they predicted Santos Escobar pairing up with Angel Garza. I say Garcia. Look, I'm tired of myself. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo.
See.
They predicted that. And lo and behold, the newly reformed Legado del Fantasma. And now WWE 2K24, they predicted the reuniting of the Bloodline. Which I find this interesting that this is on night one, the same night that the big Mania tag match is on. And if we know anything when it comes to brother versus brother afterwards, they always mend fences.
Yes.
So something tells me this could happen. This could happen in this way in my head. If and only if Cody gets the win and it's bloodline free. I do remember Jay posted on Instagram a few months back, and had a picture he posted in his room, in his house. It was Solo, Paul, Roman, himself, and Jay. And the caption says, the bloodline won't be back together unless I'm back in it. If Cody somehow gets the win for his team and it's bloodline rule, like bloodline free, what makes you think that that Jay won't turn on Cody? Because I've seen on WWE's YouTube channel that they're doing that it was the complete reign of the bloodline since WrestleMania 38. That was uploaded recently, not too long ago. And I was like, exactly. And I saw that, I was like, oh boy, I know exactly where this is going. And plus, Cody just signed a new deal, a new multi-year deal that extends his age that he said he wanted to retire or go part-time at the age of 40. Well, that's going to exceed that. Something tells me that he's not going to finish it.
All I know, I say all I know is this. Triple H said, and I quote from that press conference, we are about to take it to a whole nother level. WrestleMania 40, celebrating legacy. One looks to define destiny. Others look for a Rocky in their victory. But the bottom line, the whole 2 nights, does Cody finish the story. Not a matter of how, not a matter of what, but a matter of if. Does Cody finally finish the story? That is the biggest question this entire 2-day span. Bloodline be damned. Because at the end of the day, it is not Cody Rhodes versus Roman anymore. It is Cody Rhodes versus the final boss and everybody else beneath him. Because the Bloodline, simply put, is the final boss and the side chick. And I said what I said.
You're not wrong, because like I said earlier, Roman's aura completely diminished.
He may have some of it left, but at this point, if it wasn't for The Rock, would everyone actually give a shit about Roman and Cody too? But again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Hey, just like Monday Night Raw, I'll give you a teaser of further talk to come, because I'm sure we're going to dissect this further. But that being said, before I wonder, is Cody actually going to show up tonight and try and attack these freaking men? Let's go ahead and talk more about what's ahead this week. Because again, it's WrestleMania week. Again, I know we all have friends that are going. So again, to anybody that's going, please have fun. Enjoy yourself. Once a lifetime experience. I know for some, be safe, own it, and good luck to your wallets afterwards. Sandy,
Yep.
Walter, Big J, just saying. But yeah, again, I think things are really going to kick off for us in We Gonna Die when it comes to Thursday night. I mean, again, the GCW Collective is going to be under full display. We know we also have DDT Pro. We know we also have Wrestle Revolver. And of course, we also have part of the GCW. Arguably the only show that most people watch out of GCW, unless you're a GCW fan, Bloodsport. And of course,
Bloodsport.
shout out to James and Walter. They'll be doing a live watch on the WWE Bloodsport here for my YouTube channel. So if y'all can, stop by and hear their takes. Because Walter, as a diehard UFC fan, I'm very curious to see how he carries himself during this presentation. Pressure's on you, boy. My voice will not be part of this, but I'll be watching. And I'm definitely going to be watching because we talk about for representation, growth, development, inclusion. We talk about the 3-woman summit of TNA, AEW, WWE. Well, here's WWE and TNA and GCW. Look at this. Shayna Baszler, Masha Slamovich. And, of course, people might be who was involved last year against Kota Ibushi. He takes on the wanted man, Nick Nemeth. These two matches alone is enough for me to be like, I wish I was there. I'm glad I bought this card. So before we move any further, King, you're a fan of GCW Bloodsport to a degree. What was your thoughts when you saw that Shayna Baszler, WWE superstar, is taking on a TNA wrestler in a GCW Bloodsport bout?
We can thank Josh Barnett for reaching out to Triple H. That was my mind immediately, because this partnership, because I know Josh Barnett and Shayna Baszler go way back. The history go way back with those two.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, when I heard that announcement of Shayna Baszler going to GCW in Bloodsport, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, I was like, Josh Barnett had to play in this somehow. He had to talk to Triple H. And I'm glad Triple H is letting her do this. Like, say what we want about Triple H, but as far as comparing him to Vince, he clears Vince by a whole mile, a whole distance, because if this was still Vince running this, you wouldn't see Shayna Baszler in GCW Bloodsport this week at all.
You wouldn't hear the terms pro wrestling or other companies mentioned by Michael Cole, nor would you see Michael Cole probably having the greatest time of his life after doing this for 25 years.
Because he doesn't have Vince in his ear screaming, which, Cole, I don't know how you did it for those 25, well, half of those years with Vince screaming in your ear.
I talk about protect my mentality. That man preserved his mentality somehow, even if it involved drinking.
Right, but I'm glad that, you know, Shayna and Masha is about to happen, but as I just now see the graphic, Nick Nemeth and Mike Bailey, now that I am looking forward to. Let's go.
Yes, and there's so much more. We got Minoru Suzuki versus Roy Sazes. We also have the man himself, Warhammer himself, of course, Josh Barnett taking on Johnny, insert last name here, Bloodsport. That's just saying. And so
Johnny,
much more.
Last name here, even though Supercard of Honor on Friday. Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, unless we want to talk any further about Bloodsport or anything else we might watch on Thursday. I know Cindy's going to take part in the collective. Again, we got TJPW, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, being involved in the GCW. We got GCW, of course, all like 9 different shows according to, I think, the Triller TV schedule. I can't name them all because I can't remember them all.
Right.
We also know that Thursday night it will be Stardom's America pay-per-view here in Philly, the American Dream Kingdom, and that will be headlined by Micah defending the World Slammer Championship against her Valley Agas's tag team partner, Megan Bain. So that should be a very powerful bout, as it looks like Stardom is definitely going through a bit of reshaping. As we know, we got 4 key players that are leaving the promotion, and Julia also has now the promotion and is a free agent. Utami Hayashita, Mirai, Mai Sarakai, Julia, and I'm forgetting the other one's name. Apologies. They no longer are part of the Stardom promotion. We've already seen Aphrodite lose their tag team championships to crazy girl Susan Suzuki and her partner, I believe, the high speed champion. We also, of course, know that Julia lost the NWA Strong Women's Championship to Stephanie Valkyrie, a CMLL. Very good match, by the way. But Stephanie got pinned by Willow Nightingale recently in Mexico. So AEW and Stardom right now on full display as Stardom's invading Ring of Honor. But, of course, for that, again, Stardom has their pay-per-view on Thursday night in the Extreme Arena. And they also, of course, will involve TNA and AEW as Club Venus comes together with Mina Shirakawa, Mariah May, and, of course, Zaya Brookside. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching that. And, yes, I will be watching both those shows because we all haven't figured out by now. I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! And I watch all sorts of fans wrestling and spend my wallet for it, too. So I'm at least buying those 2 shows Thursday night. And then, of course, as you alluded to while we move into, well, excuse me. Wow, I almost forgot. How can I be so rude? That same day, way early in the morning, if I remember correctly, that's Sakura Genesis.
Oh, yes. I forgot about Sakura Genesis.
Because, as we know, that's being headlined by Tetsuya Naito defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Yota Tsuji, the winner of the New Japan Cup. And the winner of that match will be facing Jon Moxley at Windy City Riot on April 12th. Which Jeff made official,
Moxley is in which Moxley be in a 6-man tag match on Sakura Genesis.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
All the wrestling. But yeah, we could go ahead and move into Friday because, to your point, the headline of my Friday is definitely going to be the Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. A pretty nice card so far. Fight Without Honor with Donna Castle and Johnny, insert last name here. Johnny TV. We have Kyle Fletcher defending the Ring of Honor World Championship against Big Shy Lee Johnson. The first ever Ring of Honor Women's World Championship will be crowned as Queen of Nod takes on Billy Starks. Stardom! Freaking Stardom! 6-woman showcase. Mina Shirakawa, Micah, Mai Sakura, Empress, Venus, Nexus. And, of course, they are taking on Saya Kamatani of Queen's Quest, Tem Nakano of Cosmic Angels, and the daughter of High Speed, Asume. But the bigger story here are the top 2 matches. As Athena looked for competition and has her greatest threat to date, Athena defends the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship against Hikaru Shida. And, of course, in the main event, I imagine, it is Eddie Kingston and the boy looking to man up 11 years to the day that his brother, God rest his soul, won the Ring of Honor World Championship from Kevin Steen, his first Ring of Honor World Championship. Mark Briscoe. All right, King. Now, you are a guy of honor. We talk about Ring of Honor all the time. There's a reason why we used to watch it together, but as schedules got crazy with work, we just kind of watch our own thing, but we still watch it weekly, faithfully. We saw this tournament from the get-go, 16 women. Incredible tournament, by the way. Down to the final 2. Freaking Athena, 46-0, unstoppable, beating every form and walk of life. The greatest Ring of Honor Women's World Champion in history versus arguably the greatest AEW Women's World Champion in history, who held it 1 full year to the day, got through a pandemic, and won it 2 more times over. 3-time AEW Women's World Champion. Eddie Kingston, of course, who has redefined his passion for professional wrestling, honoring Japanese pro wrestling, being honorable with the Ring of Honor World Championship, looking to go back to his roots after losing a 3rd and officially the Triple Crown abolished. As, of course, now he's down to 2 titles. And Mark Briscoe, who was supposed to get this opportunity last year against Carl Castagnoli, was injured, now has the chance this year against Eddie Kingston, where you fought the World TV Champion was his destiny. This very well might be the destiny waiting for him, truly. Your thoughts on the Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, man. Just quick, brief thoughts. Go ahead.
This card is looking very, 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 very good. I mean, I am looking forward to the first Women's World Television Championship to see who will be crowned there between Queen Eminata and Billy Starks as they ran through the bracket in their respective brackets. Both women have shown a phenomenal performance in respect to all the ladies in the Women's World Television Championship tournament. It goes to show you how the Ring of Honor Women's division is so depth. It is so in deep with it because this women's tournament has produced some bangers. I mean, I've never heard of Sandra Moon before, and I went back and looked at some of her matches. So it has produced some good matches and some good wrestlers that I've never seen before to make me go out of my way and watch. And of course, it's time. It's time for Athena to basically get dethroned because she has done everything that she could with that title. And I feel like Sheeta will be the one to do it because we got to get Athena to get called up to that main route to AEW here pretty soon, especially with a certain CEO that she wants to target and that she's been targeting on her social media. Now, Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe, that is going to be emotional for me because if somehow, some way, that redneck Kung Fu Chicken beats the Mad King when both of them are scheduled in a 6-man tag at Dynasty in a few weeks, if Mark Briscoe somehow defeats Eddie Kingston, I'm going to cry again because that's going to be emotional because it's going to be 11 years to the day that Jay Briscoe beat Kevin Steen for the Ring of Honor World Championship. That's going to be emotional, and I'm going to be an emotional wreck in a good way with tears of joy.
That's what it means to be a professional wrestling fan. Damn it.
Exactly. And Kyle Fletcher and Lee Johnson, that's gonna be my sleeper of the night because Lee Johnson, Big Shotty Lee has been improving and been showcased more on Ring of Honor as of late. And I like that for Big Shotty Lee, even though Ethan Page should be the one next in line after Lee Johnson.
What happened to Ethan Page? Did he get injured or did he face visa issues? What the heck happened? Oh, by the way, congratulations to Chelsea Green, who finally got her green card. Truly, you are now American. Congratulations.
But yeah, I'm hoping that he's next in line. And of course, Dalton Castle and Johnny TV. Of course, when Eric dropped the news about the boys, I think that's probably the reason why they got taken off, which unfortunately. But
got eaten by a bear.
Hey, those are Johnny TV and Tyre's words, not mine. They said it. But hopefully Dalton Castle can overcome, his unhingedness and finally get the win over Johnny TV. I hope.
Well, again, it's also a fight without honor, the most dangerous match with no rules in Ring of Honor history. And we all saw what happened last time we had one of those.
Yes. Legos and tacks. But the Stardom women, the 6 ladies of Stardom, they going to tear it up. They going to tear it up. If y'all have not seen Stardom, I know I've been watching clips. I don't watch the shows like that. I just watch clips and highlights, which I, kind of get. Of course, you keep me informed, and my friend Kevin keeps me informed.
Yep.
But these 6 ladies are going to tear it up. If y'all have not seen these 6 women wrestle, you all are in for a treat.
Well, you just saw one of them wrestle in their Ring of Honor debut against Hana J, and you saw how well she put up.
Mita.
Yeah, Mina Shirakawa, Mita-chan. I love the fact she was able to do her dance, of course, on the ring. Her, idol, of course, being a former dancer herself. Tanakano, also a former idol. Again, I'll give you all sorts of history when it comes to Stardom during that call, so stay tuned for more on that. But yeah, I am looking forward to this card. And again, less is more, and that's what makes it far more effective. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what this brings out and what it leads in honor going forward. And again, do we get title changes? There's still Athena, Lexi Nair, and Billy Starks show. Does Billy Starks get the job done where Athena maybe doesn't? Or somehow does Athena once again remain unopposed on her throne? It's a very unique circumstance. I'm very curious to see how it all plays out. I really am. All right. Well, again, as we keep talking more about the WrestleMania week and all the hype and all the shows, all the festivities, all the activities, let's go ahead and talk about not only honoring, but also inducting. Because as you know, traditional every week, it is the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, of course, the Hall of Fame in times past, we've always wondered, why is this person in here? And did they actually get it right? In the land of extreme, in the land of Philadelphia, here we are with this class, headlined by, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Paul Heyman. And he has been the advocate. He has been the SmackDown general manager. He has been the pioneer of Extreme. And he, as of late, has been serving as the wise man, the special counsel to your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And he will be headlining this year's class, the WWE Hall of Fame, being inducted by Roman Reigns himself. We also have a pioneer of women's wrestling, two pioneers of women's wrestling, being perfectly honest. And of course, Bull Nakano. Y'all might remember her for the matches she had, particularly with Alonzo Blaze, even in Tokyo. Still goes to this day. Incredible, by the way, how well she's kept up with herself. She looks phenomenal. And of course, we have the grandmother of the final boss himself, The Rock, being inducted as well as the American Express, Muhammad Ali, and of course, I think it was Thunder Bolt John. I might be messing up the names. A guy that, if y'all don't know, he's the inspiration to one late and great Dusty Rhodes, if you will. A very incredible class, I would say. This is one of the stronger classes I have seen in a number of years, King. What's your take overall on this year's WWE Hall of Fame class of 2024?
Paul Heyman's was long overdue. Long overdue
Right?
because Paul Heyman is a trailblazer. The man who created, in my opinion, I wish WWE did not ruin it back in 2010 or whatnot of what they did, but it produced some of the, Sheamus and Kofi Kingston and gave Zack Ryder a new life. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
ECW, because without his extreme creativity, we would not be getting these type of extreme matches in professional wrestling without Paul Heyman. And of course, we've seen him in SmackDown as the GM, which I still remember the one time where John Cena and Chris Benoit made him eat soap in 2004.
Hey, he
But
was being a bad guy. He. You know what? They had to clean his mouth. All right. You say bad things, you need to get your mouth washed out. I'm just
that
saying.
that was still one of my favorite moments of him eating soap back then in '04. But of course, he's been the advocate for the Beast, Brock Lesnar, for 20 years, ever since that Beast, the next big thing, made his debut in 2002, and the world was not the same since. And then, of
Still
course,
isn't.
and in 2020, which none of us which none of us thought it was going to happen, but WWE pulled the trigger on it. It was like, yep, let's turn Roman heel and let's see where we go with this. And here we are, 4 years later, and he serves as the wise man to the tribal chief for one of the longest reigning undisputed WWE Universal Champions in history, in Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it's and I haven't seen the Roman Reigns documentary, but I know he produced that as well. And you talk about Paul Heyman, you talk about family, you talk about the bloodline, you talk about the Anali family. You got literally a trailblazer for women's wrestling, one of the earliest OGs in the history of managing Leah Mavia. And of course, you have Paul Heyman, innovator of extreme, one of the most creative, manipulative minds of
Yep.
all time. At one point, you wonder if they're going to be back in this business, let alone still part of this industry. Arguably, one of Triple H's best guys in creativity. This is the same guy that sees the likes of Austin Theory as a Paul Heyman guy. Once endorsed John Cena to be possibly a Paul Heyman guy. And here's a little Raw spoiler for you folks. You want to skip ahead about a few seconds. 3, 2, 1. Monday Night Raw officially goes off the air with Roman Reigns, The Rock, beating the living shit out of Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins with a weight belt as Roman Reigns once again talking. That's all he could do. All talk, no bite. But right now, the bloodline stands tall and ahead of Saturday night. It's not looking good for Cody Rhodes or Seth freaking Rollins.
No, it is not. Cody and Seth better find a game plan before when they get to Philly, because right now this could be the scene of what we're looking at Saturday night.
But are they making it too obvious, though, King? And I know we'll talk about that here more in a moment when we tease our main event. We go further in depth on WrestleMania. But again, are we going to acknowledge family above all now and forever? Or will we finally witness Cody Rhodes finish the story and burn it down with Seth freaking Rollins? All to be determined this weekend, WrestleMania 40. Good luck, Seth and Cody. Still don't acknowledge him. I still don't. Anyway,
I do acknowledge him.
Never. Anyway, but yeah, it is very unique class, and again, they cover basically all the base. I still think the likes of Cyndi Lauper needs to go on as far as celebrity, but come on, Muhammad Ali, he was part of the first WrestleMania. The fact that Muhammad Ali hasn't been in the Hall of Fame up to this point actually baffles me. I didn't even think about that. Of all the people
neither.
From WrestleMania 1, how has Ali not been in there yet? And of course, we're in Philly. The exemplification of Rocky, one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Right? Like how apropos, but still long overdue on Muhammad Ali's part as well.
Yeah, and again, this guy defines sports in the ring. I'm just saying, in his own way. So congratulations to this year's Hall of Fame, and I'm definitely looking forward to watching the festivities when it comes to the honoring, the speeches, and more so the inductees. And as we also learned, it will be the final boss, The Rock, inducting, how fitting, Liam Alvia. After all, it's his grandma.
Yeah, how fitting. He inducted his father. So,
well, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, family runs deep. But I also, as I said yesterday, family is forever. But I fear that the bloodline may be forever. Anyway.
Together.
Don't get me started. As we move forward into Saturday, because, again, there's a lot of other independent shows that we could, like, you know, go in depth on. But we're going to focus primarily on, you know, the main things that are on everybody's minds at the forefront. But again, folks, respect, honor, enjoy all things wrestling, independent, small, big, etc. Of course, AEW still has their activities going on as we prepare for Battle of the Belts 10 and Collision next weekend, as well as, of course, Windy City Right, where AEW Town will be involved with the likes of Eddie Kingston. But also, we have, of course, Dynasty on the horizon. This week, we know the Bruv will be taking on Powerhouse Hobbs. And it seems that Mariah May has a chance to challenge her teacher versus protege, if she can overcome La Mera Thunder Rosa. But I do wonder what the virtuosa, Diana Peraza, thinks about this.
That's where I have a feeling she's going to come in on Wednesday and try to interject herself. I have a feeling on Wednesday she's going to do that.
If she don't, I guarantee you Tony Storm might. I think we're going to get a DQ, and then you're going to get a freaking multi-person melee, and I just don't know if you need that Dynasty. As Dynasty, you think they're trying to reshape the landscape. Again, we know Swerve Strickland will take on Samoa Joe. They will put pen to paper on Wednesday. Again, is it Swerve's time finally to own the keys to whose house? Not just his house, but honestly, Tony Khan's house. And then, of course, the CEO, Mercedes Moné, has peaked eyes on Willow Nightingale's business with Julia Hart regarding the TBS Championship. But I don't think it's the title that's on Moné's mind, if you know what I mean. As we await the dream match with Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay, still being further developed after a great trios match with Blackpool Combat Club on Collision, not only with the fact they also were involved in Mexico, where Bryan Danielson challenged one of his idols down there in Blue Panther. And again, there's just so much going on right now in the industry. It's crazy. And of course, again, AEW will be pre-recorded. And let's keep this in mind, King, as we're about to talk about Saturday. Collision is after WrestleMania Night 1 due to the NCAA.
Late night wrestling. I'm conditioned for this.
Come on. Do you know who I am? I'm just saying.
Oh, I know who you are. Trust
Damn
me,
right.
Mr. Simple Man, Mr. All Things Wrestling. I know that. I'm also built and conditioned for this too, to where late night collision, give it to me.
And
And
for
I don't care.
super,
And I don't care. I don't care about numbers, and I don't care about ratings. This is WrestleMania week. Tony, go all out with this card. I don't care.
the bottom line, you're not gonna try and beat the IP that is WrestleMania. WrestleMania is WrestleMania. It's simple as that. Anybody with a freaking vision and fandom of the industry knows that at heart, no matter what. Even us, we're the greatest critics of sports entertainment. This is the mecca of the industry. Period. Simple as that.
The Super Bowl of wrestling.
Yeah, I'm right. And then, of course, TNA, we have generational bouts as Alex Shelley would take on Nick Nemeth. We know that Jordan Grace will take on Steph DeLander for the Knockouts World Championship at
Yes.
Rebellion. As, of course, we see if TNA can take down the system in Speedball Mountain and the Wanted Man, who will be going after all their gold. And Mustafa Ali is trying to once again see that the X Division has limits. Wrong. No limits, you silly fool. But a very fun card coming up Thursday night on TNA in Philly. And I think Khan and PCO on a one-way course for their own Street Fighter Monsters Ball. Really, they hate those two. So
And
I'm
as
definitely looking
of
forward to Nick Nemeth and Alex Shelley. And also, as of right now, we're talking about free agents, not just Julia, not just those talents in Stardom, not just the people being released to AEW. The Motor City Machine Guns are now free agents. And usually, they're one of the most booked talents during this week, particularly. They are booked for nothing else as far as we know. What's ahead for Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin after literally renewing life in a TNA?
my prediction is this, and I usually don't say this because this is where I feel like that. Wait a minute. Now that I think about it, the timing of this, unfortunate budget cuts. But on Wednesday, the Bucks did a young Motor City Machine Gun callback with one of their moves in their tag match.
Correct.
If we know anything about those young Bucks, say what you want about them, they know how to get people talking. And who is the only team that has had a classic, one of the only teams in TNA's history that has got a classic rivalry with Shelley and Sabin?
Well,
I'm just saying.
Generation Me would like to call you back for their gimmick, even if they want to forget it, but you're not wrong. That would be them.
So, and of course, with the Bucks, they love to tease when somebody is about to come on board with AEW. Just look at what happened at Revolution with their robes, with the Okada robes. And then we had Okada show up on that following Wednesday post Revolution.
And Okada's the Continental Champion now, and he
The
shows up in the red Ferrari.
Continental Elite Rainmaker era.
I'm not gonna lie, corporate Okada is probably my favorite thing right now in the industry. I love it. And of course, to your point, the EVPs are involved in the tag tournament that will determine who tag champions in Dynasty. They take on the best friends, and if they move forward, they'll be taking on the winners of FTR versus WOW Top Flight, because Ricky Starks got injured.
He's okay. He took the Instagram after that Saturday, after Collision went off the air. He took it to Instagram. He said he's feeling okay. It was just a little stinger.
Well, that's good to know. Again, when you don't know for sure what's happening to you, that's got to be the most terrifying feeling in the world. A stinger versus an actual injury, that's good. But again, safeguards. Be careful. Because, damn it, I picked up Ricky Starks and Big Bill to move ahead.
So did I. And, of course, you know, what the audio played Saturday night, they played the wrong audio when Top Flight won. I was like, yep, this had to have been an audible.
Botch. Yeah, so... But yeah, and again, I know people are like, the ladder match, they could have a surprise entry. You don't need that with 6 teams for the Blueberry Cherry straps already, all right? It's a little bit ridiculous. I said what I said. Those titles still fucking suck. Seriously, you just don't. But what needs to happen here, you need to have 2 teams grab 1 pair of straps, and both pair of straps are going to be hung up. And again, we'll talk more about that here a little bit more verbatim, but I digress. Again, though, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, thank you for everything you've given to TNA, and wherever the future takes both of you, whether separately or together, I just know that these guys are still shooting on all cylinders. So I'm very curious to see what their next chapter takes them. So again, we'll have to wait and see all that as far as Stardom goes and Rosie Ogawa's promotion and where the Motor Machine Guns head. But we know one thing, Saturday, we got a whole lot ahead, and it all starts to see how NXT stands and deliver. And for me, I look at stand and deliver, very minimal card. I know tomorrow night we got, well, people watch this if they choose to. Today, Tuesday, hello. As of course, they have to figure out the last tag team to challenge Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin for the tag titles in that multi-team match. Why does NXT do that? You seriously can't just come up with a standard tag team match for Pete's sake. I'm telling you.
Tell that to Sean.
Fair enough. Well, Ava Rain's the general manager now, so I can kind of blame her. But anyway, these two matches definitely piqued my interest as Roxanne Perez, the prodigy, who I always says rises to promise. She is putting in a promise to herself in doing anything possible in regaining the title that she felt she didn't lost. Now, we know she dropped it due to collapse and anxiety, crippling under pressure, and failing to capture in that ladder match. She had a chance at Vengeance Day, but Lola Vice intercepted and basically cost her in a way, even though she was not pinned. But again, I say it once, I'll say it again. If it was Cora Jade, you would be seeing Cora Jade on this graphic. That's all I have to say. But it is Lyra Valkyrie's time, and I'm still thinking that Lyra deserves to hold on to it because I think Roxanne is due for a call up. And I'm just going to leave it at that as far as this match goes. And as far as the other match, which actually is the main event, because who cares about the freaking FBI 2.0? I'm sorry. You're the Dragon Out. I said what I said. This match right here is going to whoop that trick and so much more. I am ready for these two to unleash everything possible against each other, King. Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Mello Games, center main stage. This is going to be an epic clash. We talk about brothers by blood or brothers in the industry. These guys are brothers of NXT. And why one was making headlines, the other one was going towards the sidelines. He's like, no, you ain't going to bench me. Who you think you are? And Envy got the better of him, and he got self-proclaimed vengeance. And these two have been at each other since. But again, are we going to whoop that Trick, or is Trick going to get whooped? So what's your thoughts on these two matches particularly and Stand and Deliver?
Man, the Carmelo Hayes and Trick got my interest, and it's always been because like I don't watch NXT like that, like you do, but at least
I don't watch NXT. I just do the PLEs with JJ. JJ, this is his NXT, and he'll tell you that until the cows come home, verbally. And he doesn't digress. By the way, shout out to my friend JJ Williams. Me and him, of course, will be calling that. And check out his reviews all the time, folks, at Castain Studios for Love of Wrestling. Continue.
But Carmelo and Trick have definitely piqued my interest because these two, it was Trick being the hype man for Carmelo when Carmelo was ascending himself up the ranks in NXT. North American champion, NXT champion. And then, of course, when Trick finally got that, push that I felt like, in my opinion, he so deserves to whoop that Trick. What?
Don't start that. I'm going to be doing that on Saturday. But I kid you not. My little Ella, I'm turning her into a wrestling fan whenever she's here. She saw Trick Williams and she said this. Who's Kevin Hart?
No.
Called Trick Williams Kevin Hart. And even though she doesn't call him Trick, when the theme plays, she says whoop that Trick or does the Booker T lines or both.
That makes my heart happy as a wrestling fan. It really does.
I'm not gonna lie, that actually does warm my spirit. So so Trick Williams got another young fan of my 9-year-old little Ella. Anyway, continue. I can't wait till JJ hears that story.
But this feud is basically like your Ciampa versus Gargano, your Triple H versus Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
And all going to collate in Philly. And Carmelo is due for a call up on the main roster pretty soon. And I have no doubt that these two will steal the show. Sorry, Elia, you still my guy, but come on now.
Tony D'Angelo, you're not NXT champion material for me. against
Yeah,
Elias.
he's
You're not.
the Don my butt. But anyways, Carmelo and Trent are going to steal the show on Saturday before night one of WrestleMania gets started, and then everybody in Philly go whoop that trick when Melo. There you go. You told me to not start it. There you go.
That again. Continue.
But anyways, yeah, Carmelo and Trent going to definitely steal the show tomorrow. I mean Saturday afternoon. Before night one of WrestleMania gets started, and Melo. I feel like it's going to be Melo's swan song. I really do.
You don't see them like, because again, this is the first time these two are going one-on-one. These guys have been together since 2.0. Sorry, 2.0. I hate to say it. That's really when we first discovered these two. And you think about it again, you just said it yourself, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, who were part of the Prime Target, by the way, redefined the black and gold. These two get to redefine the white and gold. Because again, Melo's been there. Trick hasn't yet. In a way, Trick is Gargano. Melo's become Ciampa. And we saw how far those two went.
They went classics for classics for classics. But I feel like Melo has done everything he needed to do in NXT, in my opinion. But I wouldn't mind seeing Trick and Melo go at it, once more to try, live up to the series of a Gargano and Ciampa down there in NXT in the white and gold. But we'll see.
That's fair. So what's your thoughts, though, on the NXT Women's Championship, though? Talk about another person maybe due for a call-up. Again, is Roxanne Perez in this spot, in this mood? Because her frenemy, quote-unquote, Cora Jade's injured. Is this Roxanne's swan song, or do we get a new heel Roxanne with an NXT Women's Championship reign once again? Does Lyra fall?
Just like Melo, this is also Roxanne's swan song. This is like she's held the gold once before. I feel like this is Lyra's time to shine even more. And then Roxanne gets called up to the main roster. Even though I do like this new heel Roxanne Perez, do not get it twisted.
Same.
But yeah, this is also Roxanne's swan song as well.
Well, I guess that's fair. And again, we'll see what's ahead for the white and gold. As of course, we know after this, they will be doing Battleground, which apparently might have a date change. Thank Christ. Because as we learned, wow, damn it! Freaking AEW, botch. Freaking AEW Double or Nothing once again in Las Vegas.
But also, NXT Battleground will be in, get this, the UFC Fight Pit in Vegas.
Oh, so they're not going for the same date, but they're going for the same city. I sense worry. Just saying. But
as they were, I think they were originally due to do an arena show, but they're moving over to that UFC Fight Pit that they do Fight Night at, UFC Fight Night.
Well, again, TKO, it's literally UFC and WWE together. So this might literally be bridging that thought we talked about a while back. What happens when you put WWE and UFC?
We're about to find out on NXT Battleground, won't we?
Well, I mean, again, if that all falls through. But again, car subject to change, maybe location subject to change. Who knows? Well, that being said, again, we have a ton of stuff going on. We tease a little bit about it. And again, it all culminates no matter how you feel about the company, no matter how you feel about the story, no matter how you feel about the bloodline, the rivalry, the treachery, the adversity, who claims victory, whatever your take. Damn it, King, we're fans of this business for life for a reason. It all started with this somehow under its IP. We're going to fucking WrestleMania 40. Freaking 40 years, this freaking show, this mecca of the industry, this standard, no matter how you feel about this company, remains to exist bigger, badder, brighter, bloodier, arguably, than ever. And good Lord Almighty, did they stack this card. Now, we would be here all night. We talked about everything here. That's not even every match here, and we're not going to do that because I'm not that bloody insane. But I do think there's a lot of critical takes we can take away from each night and from what we're going in. I look at the entirety of WrestleMania, like, what is it, 12, 13 matches? I don't count the Dre's a SmackDown thing. Yeah. And again, what did it do for Bobby Lashley last year?
We don't talk about that because Bobby was mad last year about that.
Gee, I wonder why. The survey says. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, you look at WrestleMania here. I look at Becky Lynch's drive to prove that she is still the best, if not better than Rhea Ripley. Has Rhea maybe become complacent? Has Rhea become up in the lights as much as Big Time Bex was? And could that be her downfall? Does Mommy deserve to still be on top? I know I just pissed off a lot of people saying that, and I don't give a shit. Again, you talked about the battle of brothers in Jimmy and Jey Uso. These two that have literally tag teamed their entire career, separated last year, SummerSlam, bit at each other's throats since. And we're finally going to see these two go one-on-one, Yeet versus no Yeet, in what arguably could surpass what we saw at 10 and 25 and freaking 30. Well, 10, 20, 30. I understand what you're saying. And then, of course, again, Bayley, such an underrated star. Royal Rumble winner. Does she finally get her real moment against Io Sky where damage control is the damage already been done? And then, of course, right now, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable are trying to build a Rocky story, but the Rocky movies, who won? It wasn't Rocky. Do we break that narrative and somehow do we see somebody beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Champion, the greatest Intercontinental Champion in this company's history, the greatest champion since 2016 when the title was last must-see and relevant by The Miz. I got to give credit where credit's due for that douchebag. Damn it.
Yep.
And then, of course, we already talked about verbatim. What can you not say about the story being told in those two matches where what we saw tonight, Seth and Cody are not going in this 100%, and I dare someone to say otherwise. Bite me. You're full of shit. And freaking at this point, I don't know if the story can be finished, but I also do think if the final boss has his own agenda. Yeah, family above all, but at the end of the day, who in the family deserves that moniker with that title? I mean, again, does the final boss not surpass the tribal chief? I'm just saying, something about this to me still feels like there is something brewing, but how do you fathom The Rock or Roman being pinned, let alone Roman being beaten twice in back-to-back nights? Again, King, this WrestleMania, it truly does have all the hype, and there's a lot of suspension of disbelief, not just in those two matches that are going to tell the story the entire two nights and the entire saga of the bloodline. And Drew McIntyre, for what it's worth, who I didn't talk about at all, at this point, he's become the understudy. And again, is he only interested because of CM Punk? And arguably, is Seth the most interesting he's ever been because of CM Punk? So let's just dive right into it and talk about this a little bit, man. WrestleMania has nothing futs this year. So at the end of the day, there's so much to figure about. Just those brief thoughts. What are some of your brief thoughts before we try and dissect some of these matches?
Bayley, who I feel like night one, if The Rock did insert himself, and I know I talked to you about this, that Bayley would have main evented, at least in my opinion, on night one, if that was the case, and instead of The Rock. And brother versus brother, I know I alluded to that.
Yeet.
You know, with Jimmy and Jay, Yeet versus no Yeet, and of course, you know what I feel like. Well, afterwards, the story. Well, I mean, Cody said it. I mean, it's in Cody's song. Wrestling has more than one royal family, but I have a feeling there's two royal families, but that other royal family has a bloodline as deep of a tree that it is, and it might be taken over for at least the remainder half of this year. That's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah. It means
And then-
SmackDown's held hostage with their titles still, and arguably WWE might be held hostage by The Rock.
And then, of course, Drew McIntyre, let's just call it for what he is. He is the biggest generational hater of all time. And I'm loving his character work. No, in a good way. It's in a good way. It's not in a bad way. It's in a good way, and I'm loving it because
that's a brilliant description. I like that. Continue.
Because he is taking shot after shot after shot at CM Punk, and it's like, yeah, it kind of does make it's like a work shoot type of thing, but it does add up of CM Punk as of late, since he came back to professional wrestling, so it kind of adds up, especially with Drew. The audacity of this man taking the trip to Mindy's Bakery on a Monday, and then it says it closed on Tuesday. Someone should have told Drew about that. Should have told him to watch the All Brawl Out Media Scrum that it closed on Mondays. Someone should have told him that. But Drew is on the biggest run, I feel like. And if y'all don't sign that man WWE, if y'all don't give that man his money, what are y'all doing?
Right.
But Seth, I feel like he's been in and out consistency wise with his character. Like, yeah, he'll show up and be the Seth Rollins that we know, and then he'll take a comeback like Diarrhea Dwayne. And I'm like, dude, Diarrhea Dwayne? Like, a kindergartner will come up with a better comeback than that.
Well, to be fair, we are still PG, but those three guys seem to do and kind of shoot on their own last week in Chicago.
After what we saw with Cody and Rock, are we sure we in the PG era? Or we're just borderline TV 14 PG borderline a little bit?
Get back to me after WrestleMania.
But other than that, Seth has done, he's carried his own weight in this, mostly in the tag match, more or less so with with Drew. But Cody, yeah, oh boy, where do I begin with this before we can dissect? Are you going to be the Cody that, I know and I don't know, this right here, is this the Cody that I've been wanting to see right here? Bullet Club Cody to finish the story? Or is you going to cry about it like you did in your promo on Raw and The Rock made fun of you for it, and then you ain't going to finish your story?
Humble in victory, humble in defeat, humble before the bell even rings. Well, I mean, that's a fair take. Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of these then. Again, Gunther right now is the unstoppable juggernaut when it comes to workhorsemanship. He's unmatched in his style, and he has literally been unparalleled when it comes to in-ring showmanship. But again, WWE loves to give you a Cinderella story, a fairy tale ending, and they love to rewrite suspension of disbelief. And they also love to follow movie narratives. Now, I'll be honest, I have not seen all the Rockies. I didn't even know how many Rockies there were. But I do know this. Rocky was the guy. Rocky didn't win when it mattered. He didn't win the big fight. Sammy right now, he is the ultimate underdog. He's the lovable Muppet that gets the hell beaten out of him. And it happened tonight on Monday Night Raw. But also a guy that shares that same emotional investment who has fallen to the Lingero, trying to be the guy that I don't know who Rocky's coach was, by the way. Sorry, I don't know names or actors. He got beaten tonight by Gunther as well. And again, what's the special disbelief for us as sports entertainment enthusiasts? Whoever stands tall on the go home tends to lose at the big show. Well, and again, at this point, if Sammy doesn't beat Gunther, is there anybody realistically feasible on that main roster that deserves to call themselves the Intercontinental Champion? For a match, I thought that was going to be like, okay, easy win. I'll admit, they actually made me believe, made me care about Sami Zayn having a potential in winning. And again, if you can endure the punishment, you can find that hunger, can he actually be filled enough and claim the Intercontinental Champion? Can he claim a moment for himself is the bigger question here. Can he claim the moment for himself at WrestleMania? Last year he did alongside his friend. He wants this time. He's got to do it all on his own. And the last time we saw Sami Zayn in this circumstance, King, was our NXT when he put his career on the line for the NXT gold against, y'all remember Pac? He was once known as Neville. And he got it done. So, King, straight up real with you, man. Your thoughts on this? Does the match remain sacred, or does Sami Zayn break the Rocky jinx and win the Intercontinental Championship?
Here's a wild card that you didn't talk about, and I feel like he should get another shot at, and I feel like he's setting Sammy up. One, Chad Gable.
Right.
And it's like, exactly. And it's like, why do I feel like that should have been Chad Gable's spot instead of Sammy? And then it's like, why do I have a feeling that Chad might cost Sammy here? Because that should have been his time. And that should have been his title shot that he should have got again against Gunther. But also in WWE and as sports entertainment enthusiasts, they love to wrench people's hearts and make them heartbroken.
Damn right.
So, in my prediction and in my opinion, Sammy is not going to get his moment. His moment is not going to be caught twice, lightning in the bottle. The mat will remain sacred. Gunther will retain. Somehow Chad Gable will find a way to cost it if that does happen, because like I said, I feel like that should have been his spot.
Right.
So the mat is sacred. Gunther retains in Philly. Chad will be the one to be thrown up the second time around down the line.
Again, unless Chad goes heel, and again, we bring about Kurt Angle. Let's not forget, Kurt Angle was always a guy to demonstrate integrity, intelligence, intensity, but also he was a heel at times to the point the fans chanted that he sucked and he rolled with it. Chad Gable could go along that way, and it feels like Chad Gable's trying to separate himself from Alpha Academy. That's why he and Otis right now on a tag team. It's him and Akira, and we all saw how that worked out last week. Braun Breaker, by the way, is a freak. I'm just going to say it right now. Braun Breaker, you are a freak. You are a freak.
That power slam, unbelievable.
Golly. That dude's got a huge future if done right. Don't fuck it up, WWE. But yeah, and stay tuned, of course, fam and folks. I will have prediction forums for WrestleMania, NXT, and Ring of Honor out across all my social medias. Might even be down in this video. Stay tuned, especially during sleep predicting. But yeah, it's just one of those things right now where, to your point, what happened after Sammy won the NXT Championship? Kevin Owens came out, endorsed him, powerbomb into oblivion, and shortly took the title after him and the next NXT TakeOver special rival. So if they go that, and again, Triple H, if they go that way, Sammy could win here. Chad endorses him, Rob Mania. Boom, there's the turn. Maybe he gives him an open challenge. And similar to how Bobby Roode absconded the TNA World Heavyweight Championship from James Storm, remember that?
Yep.
Boom, that's how Chad Gable finally becomes the Intercontinental Champion. I do think at this point, Gunther no longer needs to be the Intercontinental Champion. He's beaten every record possible for that title in WWE and surpassed them. He needs to be the World Champion, and I don't think he needs to hold the Intercontinental Champion on his way to get there. And I think WrestleMania is where you truly create resets. I'm kind of torn right now, but I think that Sammy should get it. And if you're going to give us moments that make us sad, but also make us feel incredible, I think Sami Zayn winning a singles title at WrestleMania is one of the biggest, happiest moments you could give us, especially with the way they told it over the past few weeks. With that suspension of disbelief in Chad Gable saying, I told you what you needed here because you forgot what you needed to be. Because that's the narrative being told in this story. Talk about finishing the story. Sami Zayn, are you Rocky? Yes or no? Guess we'll find out. All right. Well, good stuff there. And to your point, let's go ahead and talk about this because, again, I think there's web implications towards Gunther's future. You talked about what Drew McIntyre is, but is Seth freaking Rollins still the guy that deserves to hold the World Heavyweight Championship? And as we now know, CM Punk will be on commentary. At this point, I don't even know what to say right now with the CM Punk factor. Drew McIntyre, self-proclaiming, I took out CM Punk. That's why he's not part of WrestleMania. CM Punk right now saying, this is the first time you two have been interesting since a certain man that you had chosen one, and you were Christian the Architect. Damn, tell me he's telling lies. So at this point, though, with Drew McIntyre's incredible character work and the condition of Seth freaking Rollins, know what's going to happen on Sunday after somehow these freaking idiots are going to tag together to take on these two less than 100%. At this point, come on, he's got to drop the title, right? I don't think there's any other way to say it. Seth can't hold on to this title, right?
No, Seth cannot hold on to this title. Seth has done enough with this title, and Drew, I feel like, well, not feel like, it needs to happen. Like, Drew needs to finish his story and become a world champion once again, because the character work that he's been doing ever since he's turned heel has, like I said, been has been generational. And when Punk is cleared, that'll be your next title feud. Is Drew McIntyre and CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship.
If that happens at SummerSlam, I honestly might go, because SummerSlam's in Cleveland this year, just to see what sort of environment that is. But I am going to say this one time, please bring back fucking Broken Dreams. Please.
They did it once before.
He was the chosen one. I'm just saying. Is he chosen, though, to run Monday Night Raw with the World Heavyweight Championship? Yeah, I just feel like that's pretty much the short narrative itself, and then you just set up for CM Punk. But again, what do people want more? Seth versus Punk or Drew versus Punk? And at the end of the day, are these two relevant more than ever because of CM Punk?
Tell
him what he's telling lies, King. Be honest, man.
Yeah, I agree.
The freaking Drew McIntyre saying, "You're my I'm your stand. I'm your stand." I was like, oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. In Chicago, nonetheless. Oh, brother.
Generational hater.
I mean, again, though, tell me he's telling lies. All right. Well, to your point, let's go ahead and show some respect towards this. And I'll let you talk more about this because, again, is this being underregarded? Is Bayley right now the most underrated, underregarded WWE superstar? And she was this year's Women's Royal Rumble winner. Is the rest of Damage Control outshadowing Io Sky and this title match? And does Io Sky even need this title at this point? Is it about the title or is it about the moment? And for Bayley, is this her last chance for a moment? Again, you talk about the fact that you think if it wasn't for, again, what we're going to talk about here shortly, that these two probably should have been the main event of night one. Again, Royal Rumble winner. And at this point, Bayley toggling the line between face and heel. I think she kind of deserves this moment just because.
She definitely deserves this moment because of the fact that it's like when she won the Royal Rumble, you would think that she would be promoted more. And it's like she's gotten pushed to the side on night one because of the fact that The Rock inserted himself in and made that match, become the main event over the Women's Championship. But also look at it this way. It's like, what has Io done with the title? Like, let's be honest here. Like, yeah, it's good that she's, the WWE Women's Champion, champion and everything.
For her former daughter, Stardom, yeah, respect. But again,
what has she done with that title? Really? And it's like Dakota Kai is like the main leader here. When you thought Io is, but it's like Dakota was the one pulling the strings this whole entire time, of getting Bayley out of Damage Control. And it's more like Bayley deserves her moment than the title itself, because when we talk about later with Becky and Rhea about titles, I'm going to say it here. First of all, the titles of the women's division need a complete reset. But we know how that's going to go in WWE sometimes.
Marketing, damn it, marketing.
Exactly. So this is more about moment than it is the title. So Bayley's going to get her moment, and she's going to defeat Io Sky. But Bayley has been underrated in this whole WrestleMania build itself, because you will think Royal Rumble winner, you will have a chance to main event WrestleMania. But of course, what do we know? This is WWE. They say that, but then it's subject to change. So Yeah, and I'm gonna say it again. If The Rock did insert himself in this whole shebang, Bailey and Io Sky would have been main event at night one of WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's one of those things though where again we know now that Bailey and Io Sky are on night 2 alongside the World Heavyweight Championship and the other Royal Rumble winner that obviously will main event Cody Rhodes for the WWE Universal Championship or what's ever left of Cody Rhodes. Jeez. But yeah, arguably again is the Royal Rumble winner match against underbuilt or feels like it's underbuilt versus to your point this one where again it's not necessarily about the title, but it's more about not a moment, but a statement. And it's been made personal with the fact that Rhea Ripley, the self-proclaimed lie, called out Becky Lynch's actual mom properties when it comes to her daughter. And at this point, last year, I'll say it again. Last year's WWE women's match before Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyrie on NXT TV was, for me, Rhea Ripley, and I can't believe I'm saying this name, Charlotte Flair from WrestleMania 39. It was an extraordinary contest, arguably the best match both those women ever had. And since then, Rhea Ripley, she's not had that competition of the same caliber. She's had the moments, but the title and her have kind of just felt, okay, she's there. She's a placeholder for people that have wet, dark dreams in a red lit room. So it's one of those things where at the end of the day, does mommy still need to be on top? Or maybe Becky, despite what people might think about her and being one of the original 4 horsemen of our NXT, always around, does Becky need to beat Rhea Ripley at this point? Because at the end of the day, Becky's been putting in more work than Rhea Ripley since Elimination Chamber. Non-stop against Liv Morgan and Nia Jax. Thank goodness Nia Jax is out of the picture. Good riddance. Because she's not WrestleMania main event worthy. I just say what I say. But at this point, I feel like Becky deserves it more than Rhea. And also, we haven't heard anything regarding Becky Lynch's contract either. And she just wrote a book, and you wonder how much more she has left and what she might do next. And at this point, Rhea, are you really the champion I want to see on top? Again, I talk about wrestling before. I see championships. I expect them presented and defended, not just showcased around a pretty waist. Again, look at women in wrestling for wrestling, damn it. But again, man, at this point, don't you think right now that the man needs to put mommy in her place?
Indeed, and there's one thing you forgot to leave out in that interview, that as well. She also talked about a certain knockouts division in her interview of where she wanted to go to TNA first.
I heard what she also said about the idea of the women's evolution in WWE and what we said verbatim. A marketing employee, such a lame gimmick, etc. Tell her when she's telling lies. Becky Lynch's outlook on women's wrestling trumps many people in WWE.
Exactly, and you brought up her contract status. We don't know what it's looking like. We don't know how many months she's got. We don't know how many da-da-da-da. The fact that she brought that up in the middle of WrestleMania season kind of makes you wonder a little bit. Now I'm just far-fetching and I'm just, going out right field. But as of right now, Becky deserves to hold the title and she deserves to beat Rhea. At least Becky doesn't do stink faces at a house show where, yeah, you heard what I said. Yeah, that went viral. You're pretty sure you've seen it when Rhea did the stink face on Nia Jax.
I'm gonna stir the internet again because I don't give a fuck because I'm not part of the internet. Sky Blue's got the better assets. Continue.
Whoa, okay. Wasn't expecting that. Caught me off guard a little bit. But yeah, Rhea was out here doing, stink face at a house show with Nia Jax, whatnot. That went viral. But then Ariel Helwani did the interview, with the same interview that CM Punk was on. Rhea came on board, but then Becky found where she was at and basically held that interview hostage.
Oh,
it was about to cause the fight with Rhea Ripley, and then Ariel took a break. I saw the clip of that on Twitter. Well, so because Becky said, so you want to call me out for, for being a mom, huh? You want to call me out for my mom issues, huh? For being a mom to my daughter, huh? You want to bring my daughter into this? So, yeah, Becky found her, and things just got really personal. Becky deserves to be the one to take the title off of Rhea. She's put in the work since Elimination Chamber, like you said. Nia Jax, we don't want you at WrestleMania ever again because we don't want to relive what happened at WrestleMania 34 when
She's
you
got
became
better for
Raw
in-ring
Women's Champion.
work, but no.
We don't want to see that at WrestleMania 34. We don't want to see that ever again. But I mean, I've noticed you improved in ring work. Keep it up though. But yeah, Becky, it's Becky's time to hold gold once again.
Yeah, and I think if nothing else, that maybe her and Liv Morgan can kind of run it back. Well, Liv Morgan, I know she wants revenge, but I don't think Liv Morgan should be the one at this point to beat Rhea either because of how personal Rhea's made it with Becky. At the end of the day, it was at first simply about who's better. Rhea hasn't really proven a lot lately if she's better than the man. If anything, we just proved that Rhea right now is making it more personal with the man. To be the man, you gotta beat the man. The man right now is Becky Lynch. She's proven it verbatim weekly on Monday Night Raw. So I think Becky is probably more worthy of it, and I think she wants it more. I think Rhea is taking Becky lightly. She's playing the mental game. And when it comes to what happens bell to bell, that's what's going to be the difference because you can't play the mental game once you're in the ring with her. She can knock your clock off.
Ooh.
And we saw what happened one time in the KO show with her and Charlotte Flair. Okay, Becky, your response. That's what I thought. Still one of my favorite KO shows. That was so funny. Oh, man. Becky, no worries. Just punch woman in the face. CM Punk was right. Things are soft when men and women are in the ring and they punch each other in the face. That's how you solve shit. Fuck words. Anyway, I like violence. What can I say? Again, there's still so much more of this WrestleMania. We talked about the United States Championship. We talked about Jade Cargill. The fact that you have this representation, TNA, AEW, WWE, all as one team. What a trio. Taking on Damage Control, whatever. Again, Jade Cargill, great moment. That's going to be an entrance that's going to last in no lifetime for everybody's minds. But again, it's a trios match, so not really much more to say there. But again, we look at WrestleMania. It comes down to, like you said, royal families, bloodlines, legacies, rivalries. Again, arguably, even if Roman's still relevant to me, these are the three most important, impactful matches on this card that don't involve women, named Becky and Rhea. But I do hope Bayley gets her moment. You talked about a little bit before, man, Yeet versus No Leak. You seem to have a very vested interest in this match, and you think, again, blood runs deep. Family is forever. Family above all. This is a family fallout. You do think eventually these two can once again Uso it up together. But for now, it's Uso versus Uso for the first time ever, bro. Take it away. Your thoughts on this and who wins round one. At this point, it's kind of been stagnant with these two as far as who's gotten the better of the other. We know one thing's for sure. The older brother has been costing the younger brother. And for those who don't know, Jay's the younger one. Jimmy's the older one. Jay looked up to Jimmy, and Jimmy's been costing Jay ever since SummerSlam last year. And why did Jimmy say that? I did it for you, Woos. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where is a brother protecting himself more than his brother, or is there more to it? I literally have called Jimmy how many times, weeks on weeks, the proverbial hypocrite. Was he not the one that pulled the trigger first and had champions last year? Oh, no, I never let the bloodline Oos. Fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough from me. This is all about you, but this is all your take, bruv. Your thought, yeet or no yeet. Round one, first time ever.
Oh, man. I'm torn between these two because once upon a time, these two were one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history and held tag team gold for multiple occasions. I never thought it would come down to this rate, but until you was there live for it. Trial by Combat. You saw it live.
I regret it.
And it was basically a no DQ match. And then here, insert Jimmy that cost Jay the undisputed WWE Universal Championship because I don't want you. Because anyway, how did Jimmy put it? I don't want you to be corrupted like Roman. I was protecting you, Oos. And basically, when we saw that, which I went to the Raw of on my birthday week. Shout out
Right.
Oklahoma City. When Jimmy cost Jay and Cody, but mostly Jay, the undisputed tag team championships against the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. When I saw Jimmy coming from the crowd and sneak attack his little brother, I was like, really? That was the shortest tag team run.
Right? Less than 24 hours.
Exactly. And I was like, yep, shortest tag team run. And then week after chance after chance after chance that Jimmy gets to cost his brother in a title match situation. Here comes Jimmy. When Jay has a title match that's ready to be won, especially Intercontinental Championship title matches
And very cool.
or United States Championship matches, here comes Jimmy. Super kick. Cost him the match. Right there, front and center. And it's like, this has got to be settled. Here we are. Brother versus brother once again at WrestleMania. Yeet versus no Yeet.
Yeet.
Jay got to get the win here. But as we know, sometimes brothers fight longer, but sometimes brothers bend fences. Hello, Hardys.
It's been a long time, though. I'll tell you that much.
Exactly my point. So I have a feeling this could go one or two ways here. One, they bend fences. And then we're going to see a reunited bloodline because you mean to tell me that there was a reason why that they WWE put up the reign of the bloodline since WrestleMania 38? That ought to mean something that goes further down the line. Or two, they continued this, but I'm not sure how long you will continue this feud with Jimmy and Jay. In my opinion, I feel like this should just be one-off. This should be just a one-off, in my opinion, because really, Jimmy got the best of Jay. Now it's Jay's turn to get the best of Jimmy.
Right? You would think eventually he would do it.
So it is basically took him this long to make that match official with these two. So it's Jay's turn to get the best of Jimmy, and then we're just gonna call it off like that, unless Jimmy wants to say, nah, Oos, no. Let's have another match. Let's see who really the better man is, really. But I hope, in my opinion, it's just a one-off. In my opinion, Jay gets the best of Jimmy.
Well, let's keep in mind this Friday on WrestleMania SmackDown, it's going to be Jey Uso versus Solo Sikoa, and I don't think you're going to see Seth and Cody showing up, and you know the bloodline will definitely be all hands on deck on SmackDown because Solo got marching orders from the Tribal Chief to take him out.
Yep.
And that's the younger brother of both these brothers.
Exactly.
So, again, it's one of those things, though, where it started the Royal Rumble with these two, and we saw which one went further. And, again, it's one of those things where the older brother should lead by example. I think Jimmy's been leading a poor example, though, for Jay. Because I don't think Jay wants to be like Jimmy anymore. He wants to on his own. He says his biggest moment's going to be when it comes to WrestleMania, and he whoops the yeet out of him. And I hope he does so. So I'm just going to say yeet. I hope Jay gets his moment, even if it's not in the main event. I want to see that stadium doing all that at the same time because I think Jay deserves it. Somebody in the bloodline has to go down at least. I've been saying it for band since last year. The bloodline should have died. Arguably, the bloodline is thicker, tougher, stronger, harder, better, faster, Death Punch members for you, than ever. And it all culminates with what we're going to finish our conversation with because after tonight, speculation of disbelief galore. I don't even know what to think right now after what I saw. We saw what happened at the freaking kickoff conference. Cody made history, won the Rumble twice, 2 years in a row. The fourth man, I believe, to do that. Or third. Someone can correct me on that if they want. And then, of course, we saw the slap her around the world. And then a follow-up slap encounter after Rock was himself the final boss. Seth accepted on his behalf. What people were once calling Goku-Vegeta relationship almost right now with freaking Seth and Cody. I don't know what two villains you put right now on the monikers of what should be changed to the final boss, The Rock, and the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. But this match right now still is official, and both men have been bludgeoned and battered with a weight belt, and one has been bled in the last week. But again, WWE, when you are going in strong into the PLE, you tend to be the one to lose. But the thing about this is it's not the only time we'll see at least 3 of these men in action. Because no matter what, Sunday night, might as well just call it cause and effect. Just complete the story in your own way. It will be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Universal Championship. It's just a matter of whether or not it will be bloodline rules, which means anything goes, or a standard one-on-one, the final boss's word, if Seth and Cody win. Is this truly as simple as cause and effect? If Cody and Seth doesn't win here, does that mean you do everything possible to make sure Cody wins here? If Cody and Seth win here, does that mean we are stuck once again, held hostage by Roman Reigns and his death grip on the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship? Is he truly going to surpass Bruno Sammartino at this point? Are we in for another year of the same shit routine with the final boss pulling the strings? What the fuck happens here? Can you just simply say at this point, Cody needs to finish his story? But now at this point, can you say if Cody will finish his story? I leave that now to you.
Yeah. See, finish the story, finish the story. That has been the tagline, that has been the phrase, and it's basically keeping me for the past 2 years. Actually, past year now. And it's now gotten to a point to where now that the bloodline has grown stronger, blood is thicker than water. The Rock being the final boss, The Rock being one of the most powerful heels, basically being a hybrid of corporate Rock and Hollywood Rock, which is kind of scary when you think about it, because corporate Rock ran roughshod, and Hollywood Rock
He's
was
on
basically
the board, by the way. Let's also put that out there. The Rock really is a boss in WWE. He's on the board of directors for TKO.
And that's exactly the point I was getting ready to say right there. He is the final boss. He is the director, like part of the board of TKO, which means he can do anything he could and he can that sees fit, which is why, real life, he had more input on the Hall of Fame this year. But that's the real life now thing. Now back to this. Now it's like Jacob Fatu, he's about to become a free agent pretty soon.
As he's working with Booker T.
Which Booker T has stated that he is getting him ready. I wonder what he meant by that. I'll leave that up to you to decide.
Oh, Lord.
Zilla Fatu as well. But there's always that one thing that I said earlier to start off this podcast episode. It's between Jimmy and Jay and what happens afterwards. Do they mend fences? And to where you think Cody is on this close to win and finish the story, here comes Jay. Because remember what Cody said last year. I hope this isn't a mistake that I have to regret later when he brought Jay in to Monday Night Raw. That's the part that people are forgetting. Right there.
Storytelling.
Bingo. What you just said, long-term storytelling. That's what WWE are masters of. That's what people are forgetting. When Cody said that, I was like, yeah, something is about to go down within the next few months to a year, because there's no way that Jay is completely free from the bloodline. And even when Paul Heyman and Jimmy said that you're not officially out of the bloodline because you didn't quit, that's what happened with Jimmy. He didn't officially quit out of the bloodline. He was in, but he wasn't in. the bloodline because of his mistakes with Jay. Like, he was in the bloodline, but he wasn't in. And it's like that match has an integration with the tag match, and that has an integration with the main event of WrestleMania Sunday.
Yep. Begin.
This whole bloodline, you could put it in a red string, and you can trace it all you want to. Something tells me that Jimmy and Jay match will be the first domino of what's to come throughout this whole WrestleMania weekend.
That is on Saturday, and that is prior to the tag match, to your point.
Exactly. So if Cody picks up the win, it'll be bloodline rules, but also I don't see Rock and Roman getting pinned, which is why I have a feeling that Rock and Roman will win night one, and Cody takes the pinfall. No, Seth will take the pinfall.
Ooh, that just feels Drew McIntyre.
Exactly. But also it'll feel Cody because he also took the loss, but he wasn't the fall guy. But it will also fuel him too. But also it'll be bloodline rules and anything will go. And of course, what does underdogs do? Underdogs will find a way to finish a story or finish a race or finish a comeback game. They will find that.
What can the bloodline throw at Cody under bloodline rules that Cody can already anticipate after losing to Roman Reigns with the entire blood involved last year at WrestleMania?
One person that I'm about to name, Jay Uso, and that goes back to what I said. What was that, Cody? That said, what was it? Backlash in Puerto Rico that he said that?
Yep.
Exactly. That's what I thought. That's what I was about to say. That's what I'm getting ready to say. That's what circles back around to what Cody said at Puerto Rico in Backlash. I hope this decision doesn't make me regret it. I hope this mistake doesn't make me regret it. That's where Jay comes in. And remember what I said earlier. He posted a picture around a few months ago with him. It was a frame of him, Paul Heyman, Roman, Solo, and Jimmy, and said, the bloodline isn't officially back unless I'm back in it. Something tells me that when Cody thinks he is this close to finishing the story, somehow, if Jimmy and Jay mend fences, Jay comes in to where he's going to save Cody, but he's about to get met with a super kick in stereo. And also keep this in mind, WWE loves to go for breaking records this year as of late. We've seen it with Gunther becoming the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record.
As he should have.
Well deserved on his part too. How long have they been trying to have Roman as the top dog, even when Vince was in charge?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his documentary talked about that verbatim. I haven't watched it yet, though, but I'm sure JJ will review it at Cast the 18 Studios.
But that, and also records are meant to be broken. And who is third on the list? Hulk Hogan. 1,400 plus days. If I'm wrong, someone can correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's probably the accurate number. But that's who's up on the record list. And there has been talks throughout these past few months that WWE Creative might go that route. And now that The Rock is part of the board and has his own creative team too for Plan B, I'm just saying. But if that's the route that they're going for, bruv, we might be in for another year of Roman holding that WWE Undisputed Universal Championship and breaking Hogan's record.
Oh God.
But it all starts with the Jimmy and Jay match and what happens afterwards. That will lead into the tag match. That will lead into the main event.
Ellen brother. It's a scary, scary reality you might be building that already might be foretold in the storytelling. But again, the fact that they have punished Cody and Seth so bad, it feels like they want Cody to win, and Seth will be the guy that will sacrifice himself by any means necessary to cut the two heads off this freaking machine. At the end of the day, think about this. Seth freaking Rollins is one of the only men that Roman Reigns, tribal chief wise, has never pinned or submitted. He threw a hissy fit at the Royal Rumble a few years ago and was able to hold on to his Universal Championship, but Seth won. They never ran that match back. In a tag match, you have to figure out who eats the fall and how the fall is received. I almost wonder at this point, though, will the Bloodline get themselves DQ'd or somehow force a DQ? Using mental manipulation to somehow still inherit bloodline rules. Because I still think Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, despite the Brothers Brother match, are going to come into play that night. Then you head to Sunday with that looming thought, knowing that Seth, if he loses that championship, Seth's last stand against the Bloodlines to make sure that Cody wins. And Cody might be his last chance to get back to a championship not involving Roman Reigns. And again, Damian Priest complete after 5. Money in the bank, who gives a fuck?
Yep.
So seriously, at this point, though, again, if Cody doesn't finish this, he might as well never ever become champion at WWE. But on the flip side, if Roman loses, according to what people talk about in this documentary, Roman says he might very well retire. He might be gone, done, bye, see ya, period. Something has to end. Something has to give. Somebody has to win. But everything inside my heart right now, with how personal they're making this more than physical with the American Nightmare, tells me he goes from undeniable and undisputed. I still think Cody needs to win. I don't want him to win at this point anymore, simply. I think he needs to win. It's more than the bloodline. It's the future of the company. Who do you put in that seat outside Roman? Cody has to be the guy. He's the only one right now that has exhibited that workforce, that mentorship, that outreach, that connection versus everybody else in the entire WWE universe with that level of legacy in his blood to be called the face of the company. I think Cody needs to win this year. If the narrative has been finish the story for the last year, even though they said the story is never finished, and you've already marketed the hell out of it in W2K4 and re-signed him, and you're putting him through this much physical and mental punishment, then Cody has earned every right, I think, to finally achieve that dream at WrestleMania and hold the now WWE Undisputed Universal Championship for what it is and what it's worth, even with its mustard sprayed ass. I think that Cody has to win. I don't know how, but I think it has to be the last thing we see underneath those weird green lines, whatever set's going to be at WrestleMania 40. Cody resets the WWE landscape and somehow beats the final boss and his side chick. I think Cody just needs to win. I do think at the end of the day, Rock is a guy that is not going to simply let this stand idly by if it happens. But he's also not a guy to get heavily involved physically in the ring. Not only is he a member of the TKO board, he's still a fucking movie star and he has freaking roles to do in the studios. You know that as well as I do, bruv.
Yep.
Which is why, again, is the final boss just a looming thing to draw interest back and to make it professional wrestling interesting again, so says The Rock. I figured very well much more is that. And again, the biggest man ever, and that truck tease. You want to talk about teases that truck with Stone Cold, John Cena, and Trish Stratus. Everything happens in WWE for a reason. I just think right now that Cody deserves this win. It may be his last moment. It may be his only moment. It may literally be the moment to define his career. Cody wins at WrestleMania. I don't know how, as guarding the tag match result, but Cody has to win Sunday. If he loses Saturday, fine. But there's no way I see the American Nightmare going 2 years in a row without leaving with that gold. I say Cody finishes the story. And as far as what happens afterwards with Roman, The Rock, Jimmy, Jay, Tama Tonga, this Fatu, Rikishi, the Madia family line, Mama Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, Sister Rhodes, whatever family member put, Triple H for that matter. Cody Rhodes opens up a new era of WWE as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion on Raw to Mania. Period, point blank, simple. And I know I'm going to get a lot of slap for that, and I don't give a fuck. Because bottom line, this WrestleMania has all the hype, all the suspension of disbelief, and we are invested in seeing the story finish. Whether it is in victory or further, maybe unrepairable, agonizing defeat. But again, King, this WrestleMania is one we are going to remember now and forever. And I cannot fucking wait. Let's fucking go, bruv.
Let's do this.
Way better than Brock Lesnar, but I digress. And that being said, that's all I got for now with this AW Impromptu WrestleMania hype. What are you looking forward to so much this week during WrestleMania week? Whether it's a convention, whether it's a show, a company, a match, a story. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. We thank you for tuning in once again to our annual edition. This has been the Instant Review Impromptu. On behalf of the AW fam, we thank all of you. King, it's always a pleasure. You know you got 3 prediction forms coming. You all know I got prediction forms coming. Stay tuned to WWE. Stay tuned to No DQ for all the coverage, the updates, reactions. I'll be doing commentary for the next 7 days. Lord help me. So it's going to be a fun ride. And I'm here for it the whole way, all the time, each night. I know we have our special summit, literally, as it's Tuesday here on the East Coast, where we will engage in Bray Wyatt's documentary. Lord help us. Together as a family. But until then, King, any last thoughts, anything you want to plug and promote? And again, anything else you want to say, man?
Say what you want about this company. Say what you want. Disrespect, respect, whatnot. But this WrestleMania week, this WrestleMania has the hype and the potential to deliver regardless. I am looking forward to it, even though the wrestling does not stop, especially on WrestleMania weekend with Saturday and Sunday with Stand and Deliver, and then WrestleMania, and then Collision. Yes, I said it, Collision. And then, what? No, I will not stop that. And, of course, Sunday with WrestleMania. But other than that, and then Supercard of Honor on Friday, which, of course, I'll be watching that, and probably
all
Rampage.
All the wrestling. Damn it.
The simple man said it best. But if you want to find me, y'all can find me on Twitter at AMT Roman numeral 23, the number 23. I will usually be on there just delivering my takes on certain stuff, or just basically just whatnot, just for giggles and fun, and just interact and engage
in a positive way. If more people figure that out, it'd be a much better community. I'm just saying. Again, King, we are ATW. We protect our mentality. We enjoy life and enjoy wrestling too, and support one another and respect each other. That's how you live a right way. And again, folks, thank you for tuning in. And of course, my way is a long ways away from being over, because this is everything that's coming up for me over the next 7 days. I am that insane. Thank you again for tuning into the Impromptu. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Stay tuned for Super Predicting tonight with me, Bart Keeves, and my color commentary cohort in Renegade J.J. Williams, who's a proprietor of long-term storytelling. And I'm sure we'll have a lot to say regarding my thoughts here and your thoughts, King. And again, you see we'll have Stand Deliver predictions on Wednesday night. And then after that, I'm going to watch Dynamite because I'm insane. And then Thursday night, I'm going to do another panel for WrestleMania with further friends in WWE Multiverse of Media, MVPs, champions, one of my horse spins of predictions. Then after that, I'm going to watch TNA Ring of Honor because, again, I'm insane. And then Friday, I'm going to, of course, do Ring of Honor Supercard Virus predicting and call that show. Stay tuned for that. And we're also going to watch the Hall of Fame, talk about those. course, NXT Stand and Deliver also going to cover too. We're going to also cover WrestleMania in its entirety, have an open mic night where I'm going to either be really pissed or really happy. And then Sunday night is the granddad of them all as we see what stories are finished or are begun Sunday night. And then I continue on with the Raw after Mania, and the fun continues from there as we look towards the next weekends in all things wrestling, not only in ATW, but in the Championship Network multiverse of Mia. So hope you're all along for the ride. WrestleMania week, the agenda is simple. The hype is real, but my fatigue is probably going to kill me too, and that's all right. And again, folks, thank you for tuning in for, again, do you know what I'm saying, man? I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! And I don't digress. I only wish to continue to encourage you that there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters, just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, get off your fucking phones, treasure your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It is truly as simple as that. Again, shout out to the entire W family. There'll be a link to one of my friends, Sienna Chanel. Follow her YouTube channel. Follow her predictions videos. And again, hope her Adventures of Wrestling are absolutely enjoyable in Philly. Have a wonderful time, my friend. Again, folks, please let Scott comment, tell a friend. Shout out on behalf of the entire W crew. You'll find links to their Twitter or the Twitter handles down below in the description too. If I forget anything, the family can get back with me because, again, I only can do and remember so much because, again, don't even know how I continue to do what I do right now. And again, you want to be part of predictions? Follow me on the Twitter. Follow me on the YouTube. All the same umbrella, and then Foster 1916. Instagram, I only go on there when a picture tells a story, so leave that alone. This Impromptu, again, has been a tradition now going 4 years strong. And again, please feel free to check out the entire playlist. You never know what sort of panels, shenanigans, or what sort of conversations come up, especially by the Agent of Chaos. And again, please follow my friend Mary Jake. She continues to wrestling vengeance. We continue to prove that Jay's worth more than gold. Cheers to you, my friend, across the pond.
Cheers to you.
And again, we all talk about the love of wrestling. My friend JJ Williams talks about all the time for the love of wrestling. So please follow him at Cassidy 18 Studios and all the social medias. He'll be, of course, part of City Predicting, as well as possibly the Bar Keys at Statboy Sports Bar. Be sure to check that out. Again, Dory Lou, Statboy Mikey. You might see them at City Predicting. Otherwise, they'll probably do their own predictions on their show. And again, come Wednesday night, Jay is going to tell you that this is his NXT. And I'll simply say it's better than what it used to be, but I still don't watch it weekly. But the PLEs are starting to bring back that black and gold spirit in me, especially with the likes of this right here. Let's fucking go, Trick Metal Game, and Lyra, Ground Roxanne Perez. But that's all I got to say for now as I bid you now finally a fine adieu. Thank you again for tuning in to the ATW View Impromptu. On behalf of the entire family, we are ATW. The hype is real, and we are ready to go this week, all week long, for everything underneath the city of brotherly love. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed this, and until next time, make a positive impact in life, and have a good night, and let's all get ready for the wild ride to WrestleMania! Have a good night, folks. Let's
WrestleMania!
Damn it! 40! Damn it! But I digress. Have a good night, folks. Been a pleasure, King.
Always a pleasure, bro.